Tonight, the 31st Annual Festival of Trees launches today. Plus, a hiker who went missing 2 months ago north of Fort St. John has been found alive. And the Prince George Airport will be losing both of its restaurants. Good evening and welcome to CKPG News. I'm Adam Burrows and welcome to the Prince George Conference and Civic Center, where we are at the 31st Annual Festival of Trees, which begins today. It's a special event with the sole purpose of raising money to buy critical equipment for healthcare in the North. And this year, the Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation is hoping to replace a piece of diagnostic equipment. Cheryl Jan reports.
At this point, it's an empty room, a construction site, but this room is adjacent to where a special, albeit ancient, piece of equipment is used to perform various diagnostic tests at University Hospital of Northern BC. This room will be home to a piece of equipment called StarGuide.
And then this year, of course, we're doing the StarGuide system, which is aimed to support cardiac and cancer patients and everybody in between. It's really focused on diagnostics, the diagnostics department here at UHNBC. This is an essential piece that we need with a price tag of $1.6 million. So we're looking to bring as much money as we can in through Festival to support this purchase. And of course, all of the dollars that we raise at Festival stay right here, stay at UHNBC, directly supporting our patients in the North.
In its simplest terms, diagnostic imaging lets doctors look inside the human body for clues about a medical condition, and the equipment in question, StarGuide, is essential to that work.
With getting the new piece of equipment, we are able to increase the throughput of our patients. Nuclear medicine tests tend to be longer just by the nature of how they are designed, but this new piece of equipment helps us do the same test in a shorter period of time.
The benefits of StarGuide are multiple. The specialist can see more patients, they will eventually be able to do different, newer and more complex procedures, and it will be a much needed addition to the new cardiac care tower once built. But for Dr. Narang, having the procedures done here, closer to home, is the biggest asset of all.
I think that's kind of what I would say is, to me as a radiologist, would be important, that we're doing it as a team development and not having to rely on somebody else to provide us the pictures or, take care of the patients by sending them away, whereas we are developing expertise locally.
And developing locally is what the Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation is all about. And there are countless examples of that since 1991.
Two really stand out. Of course, opening the cardiac care unit last December. That was a big undertaking. That was over $1 million that was raised through Festival of Trees. So opening that last year was such a feat for our community and that first step in bringing stronger cardiac care to Northern BC, as well as the development that's ongoing for the neonatal intensive care unit. That was a big project to celebrate our 30 years and support our littlest patients in the North. So that one's still coming to fruition, but we're really, really proud of that one.
The Festival of Trees starts today at the Conference and Civic Center and runs through to December 1st. Plenty of opportunity to help build a better healthcare system in the North for the North. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
All right, and joining us now is Amy Cassie, CEO of Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation. Amy, 31st Annual Festival of Trees. What a record this event has had over the years. Could you just tell our audience, what is the Festival of Trees for those who don't know what it is?
Absolutely. So Festival of Trees is a signature fundraiser for Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation. All the money that we raise here stays local. It stays at UHNBC to support the equipment that we're purchasing. And really it's where the community comes together, puts in beautiful trees. They're auctioned off either through silent auction or live auction. Then we've got also creative pieces, little houses, wreaths that are auctioned off as well. And then this year we've added an outdoor market that's got a skating rink and vendors and hot chocolate, mulled wine, and entertainment. There's a lot happening outside this year.
Absolutely. You walk into the building and it's a beautiful setup. Everything is immaculate. Maybe off the top of my mind, how many trees are there here today?
So we've got 50 trees put into Festival to be auctioned, but total in the building and outside, I think we're sitting close to 210 trees. So that we've used every tree that we have this year.
Wow, that's a lot of effort, but a lot of work that has gone into this, which leads me to my next question. How much planning did this Festival of Trees take?
Yeah, so planning-wise, we start usually in January of that year for the following year. So we're always a year out. We also have started already planning for 2 years out, looking at themes so that we can capitalize on what we need to bring in for it. But it is a year of planning with a leadership committee that is incredible.
And how long is the actual Festival of Trees event? Because today is the first day, the launch, but how long is the actual festival?
So we launch today and we go through until Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. Bids are done on the trees Sunday at 4 p.m. rather, and then we close at 5 o'clock. But on Sunday we've also got a Santa Claus parade that takes over downtown Prince George at noon. So there's lots going on in that 5-day span.
And you mentioned about how long the process is to get to the Festival of Trees, but how the setup itself, getting the trees here, getting all the parts, getting the people together, how long have you been here at the Civic Center getting everything prepared?
So we actually moved in, we moved some items in last Friday, and then we set up Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we usually have our first event Tuesday night as a volunteer and sponsor appreciation. And then we go live to the public on Wednesday. So the amount of time that it takes us to put it together is also the amount of time that festival is operational for. And then we pack it up for another year and bring it back.
And just quickly, how rewarding is it to see the final product, but also to know that a lot of money is going to get raised for healthcare in the North throughout this entire period?
I think that's honestly the most rewarding part, is that we know that everything that we raise here stays here. So every time someone comes in the door, they pay the admission, they buy a hot chocolate, all of that money goes to support healthcare at UHNBC, which is really why we do what we do. And I think it's the most rewarding thing to see our community come together the way we do year after year.
Amy, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Congratulations on this wonderful event. And here's to 32 years for the Festival of Trees. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.
After being reported missing on October 19th, Sam Benestick was found yesterday alive at around 11:30 a.m. near the Red Fern Lake Trail. Two people were headed to the Red Fern Lake Trail for work, where they saw a man walking towards them and recognized him as Sam Benestick. The men took him to the hospital, where police attended and confirmed it to be the man reported missing. Benestick told police that he stayed out of his car for a couple days, then walked to a creek mountainside where he camped out for 10 to 15 days. He then moved down the valley and built a camp and shelter in a dried out creek bed before he made his way to where the two men found him and took him to safety.
We got the news that the gentleman in Red Fern Lake was found, which made us really happy. We had a pretty exhaustive search up there for him with SAR teams from all over the province, support from the whole province, with the Canadian Rangers, the RCMP, Civilian Air Search and Rescue came out and helped. For us, it's amazing. Here's this gentleman's been missing for 50 days. We put in multiple days of searching. The family did a bunch of searching, and he gets found. So for us, this is amazing closure. When we look at what he's gone through, mental toughness is a huge key of this. This doesn't normally happen. People don't normally make it through a 50-day survival incident in northern British Columbia, let alone anywhere. So, we'd love to hear more about the story. We don't know too much other than he's found and he's alive, and for us, that's always the best part. The biggest thing we always tell people is follow the Adventure Smart principles, tell somebody where you're going, take a satellite communication device, and call for help earlier than later. We want to know where you are so we can come and get you sooner than later. For us, that's always the most important thing. Are you okay? And come and get you, and stay put. That's our biggest piece we tell everybody. Stay put. We know where you are. If you have those communication devices, we'll come to you and we'll get you out of there.
A snowfall warning is in place for Prince George and much of north central BC as a low pressure system over the Gulf of Alaska is bringing snow to parts of northern and central BC interior. Environment Canada says that this low pressure system will bring around 10 to 15 centimeters of snow until at least Friday morning. Periods of light snow on Wednesday will transition to more consistent snowfall tonight, and snowfall may be heavy at times on Thursday. The system will move out of the region by Friday midday. Visibility may be suddenly reduced at times in heavy snow, and surfaces such as highways, roads, walkways, and parking lots may become difficult to navigate to accumulating snow, so take care when on the roads. The Prince George Airport will be losing both of its restaurants as the Locals by Farmhouse and the Gourmet Express Cafe will be closing on November 28th. Tommy Osborne brings us the details on what the future holds for both the airport and Farmhouse.
The Prince George Airport will no longer have restaurants, at least for the immediate future.
As much as it's busy and exciting and it's a good location for us and we've enjoyed our time here, we decided to focus on catering, which is our roots of the business.
We're saddened. Certainly Farmhouse being here has upped the quality of the food and service that's available.
Locals by Farmhouse and the Gourmet Express Cafe will be closed on November 28th. For now, it remains unknown what the future holds for the airport, but it assures the community there will be a replacement.
We're actively pursuing some options and hope to have a new food and beverage provider taking off here soon.
There's no specific timeline for when a new restaurant will be ready to open, but Duke says plenty of prep work has already taken place.
In the interim, Prince George Airport Authority is going to be providing some coffee and snacks for folks complimentary for the morning startup flights. That's always tough, so we'll make sure that happens for the first few days until folks get used to the situation.
What happens to the restaurant employees, though? Jamias explains they'll be able to join with the new concessionaire, whoever that may be, but Farmhouse also plans on keeping its employees for its catering service needs, so the employees will have options.
A lot of them, too, we will be taking into our new location where we have a catering kitchen, so we're going to utilize most of our cooks and our chefs in that direction. I think a lot of our servers get excited about doing catering events. It's just something so different, right? So we're going to keep them as much as possible.
The airport's restaurant closure is part of Farmhouse's transition into a full catering service, as its location at the Prestige Treasure Cove Hotel also closed. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
Homespun Refillery on 15th Avenue is one of 11 local businesses taking part in the Fill the Bin event. Small city garbage cans are decorated in the festive spirit in the second annual event, where the city is inviting residents to drop off lightly worn clothing items, winter apparel, pet supplies, items for new parents, and non-perishable food items. The event runs from now until December the 30th, and there are more drop-off locations and recipients this year as opposed to last year.
So last year we just donated to Hattie House and to St. Vincent de Paul. This year we expanded a little bit. We're donating to AWAC, Association Advocating for Women in Community, Salvation Army, the Elizabeth Fry Young Parent Program, and the Humane Society. So we're getting opportunity to donate to more than just people, children and pets as well. It was really great. We had more buy-in this year. People who did do it last year, or locations that did do it last year, wanted to do it again this year, like Save on Foods, which was really exciting. The Heart location is amazing. They, I think, gave us the most donations last year, I'm happy to say. So go the Heart. So they got another big bin this year, and I was really excited to bring that to them.
So I'm a firm believer that we need to support each other. We need to support our community, and initiatives like this are really important and help so many people. And this is a really great one because it helps not just one organization, but many. And so when Danielle approached me to ask if we have a bin, we have the space, absolutely happy to do it.
The Yekooche First Nation has opened a brand new building in Prince George. Located on 2nd Avenue, this building will expand the nation's operations and give it more opportunities to grow and work with its partners. Tommy Osborne has more on the significance of this new building for the nation.
The Yekooche First Nation has a new building in Prince George. Located on 466 2nd Avenue, this new building is much bigger than the nation's previous location, allowing the Yekooche First Nation to greatly expand its operations and services.
With this building, we're expanding in capacity, developing other scopes that we needed to do that our old space couldn't give us the opportunity to do that.
A huge advantage of being in Prince George is being able to solve problems back in Yekooche Nation far quicker. Whether it's power, water, telephone services, or other issues, having this location means the nation will be able to solve problems here and not have the 3-hour distance be a huge obstacle.
A lot of our industry partners, they are here, and banks are here, and a lot of professionals like our executive here. We need work being done here. As much as we'd like it to be in community, it's more convenient in this location.
Joseph added, other services the nation can provide from this new building are basically everything.
We have our education, we have our finances, we have the head management, and our ECTAV company will be running out of this location.
Being 3 hours away from Prince George and 1.5 hours from Fort St. James, the Yekooche First Nation is very rural, which Joseph and Okechko say has led to the nation being overlooked.
Yekooche has not been on the limelight in terms of business within the indigenous space and the industry partners and governments. But right now with this building, it's going to create and give people the confidence that Yekooche is here to stay. Yekooche is open doing business. Yekooche is here to engage with the people and also open up our arms in welcoming people to come work with us.
Since I became the chief here, we set out on a mission to become a part of this world.
The new building only opened recently, so work is still being done, but operations are already underway as the Yekooche Nation members settle into a much bigger and better location. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
All right, and joining us now is Matt Russell, event coordinator with the City of Prince George, because tonight the Festival of Trees isn't only beginning, the Civic Light Up is also happening tonight, and it's going to be quite an evening for you guys. Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Tell us, Matt, what is the Civic Light Up?
So the Civic Light Up is our 29th annual Civic Light Up this year. It's a chance for the community to come out, sort of roll in with the Christmas season, celebrate the Christmas ahead. We light up our plaza. We have fireworks. We have free hot chocolate for the kiddos, free face painting, all sorts of activities. This year, with Tourism Prince George, we've been able to put in an ice rink out there. So there's a lot more going on this year, and entertainment as well.
And with the Civic Light Up, so as folks remember from years past, all the lights come on at a certain time. So for folks who are hoping to come down either to the Festival of Trees or to the Civic Light Up event, what's kind of the agenda for the night?
So we're going to be having entertainment going on stage about 6 o'clock tonight. That'll go till about 7 o'clock. Then we have the light up happening right at 7:10, followed by fireworks at 7:15.
And in terms of the fireworks, how big are these fireworks going to be? Because we haven't really had a lot of fireworks celebrations in the past, Canada Day, just because it's been, relatively dry over the last number of years. So in terms of this event, how powerful are these fireworks going to be? Is it going to be something to see across town?
Well, it is. There's the added elements of the Christmas lights happening with the plaza, Christmas music going, the fireworks display. Even we had last year, it went about 15 minutes, so it was really quite a display. So everyone had a great time, and we'll have a great time tonight as well.
And in terms of planning, I talked to Amy, it takes a lot of time for a planning of event of certainly the size of the Festival of Trees, but for Civic Light Up, how much planning goes into that on the city's end, getting things coordinated with folks, getting everything ready? How long does that take?
Yeah, it takes months and months. It always feels, however, that we're kind of the last few days is when a lot of things are happening and pieces moving, but it always comes together. We call it a Christmas miracle every year. So
you kind of gave it away there, but how rewarding will it be to see everything go off tonight?
Oh, it's always the best, and especially when the fireworks kick in, it's just it's a really magical moment that everyone shares out there.
Perfect, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you get back to the busy work you have ahead. Yeah. And if you want to come down to the Civic Light Up, come down to Canada Games Plaza. Light Up will be happening at about 10 minutes after 7, and the fireworks will be going off shortly after that, so you don't want to miss out. So make sure you come on down to Canada Games Plaza for that. The lowest gas price in Prince George is $1.46.9 per litre at Flying J Cardlock. The lowest gas price in BC is in Grand Forks at $1.45.9 per litre. Manitoba currently has the lowest gas prices in the country on average at $1.27.6 per litre. Meanwhile, BC has an average price of $1.68.3 per litre.
Good evening, everybody. Lots of snow to talk about, and this seems to be the theme right through most of the week and right across our region under a snowfall warning today, of course, and a lot in terms of snow falling along Pine Pass, the Tejon Cache to the Alberta border. So just be careful out there. It is definitely a winter weather wonderland is what we are experiencing. So snow into our night tonight, probably about 5 to 10 more centimeters accumulating, and then another 5 to 10 tomorrow throughout our Thursday. So it will be very unsettled, quite chilly as well across the region, and I'll break down those details for you a bit later on in the show. The air quality was good today. Prince George, Quesnel, and Vanderhoof, and our snapshot. This is a great one. Thanks to Connor Westergaard for this. And this is just a nice close-up of the moon. Thank you very much, Connor, for submitting that. It's a lovely shot. Snapshot at ckpg.com is where you can go to email us and keep your photos coming, of course, and I'll have your forecast a little later.
All right, thank you, Tanya. And Tanya, we'll have a full look at our weather forecast coming up later on in our show. But joining me now is Adrian. Adrian has been a lifelong volunteer with the Festival of Trees, essentially. Adrian, tell us a bit about your involvement with the Festival of Trees, how it all began. Tell us your story with the Festival of Trees.
So I was a daycare kid with Carol Bykoff, who's one of the kind of founding members of the children's area. So as soon as I could hold scissors, I've been part of children's, and in the last year or two, I've been kind of upgraded to committee. So I went from cutting tinsel to being part of organizing it, which has been really lovely.
And what changes have you seen over the years with Festival of Trees? Because it's not really the same every year. There's different components, there's different trees. There's a lot of difference to each different Festival of Trees, which makes the event itself really, in my mind, very unique and one of a kind, because it just changes every year from event to event.
Yeah, no, it's grown so much. And I'm 25, so in the last 25 years, it's grown so much. For kids, we used to be right behind the stage and a couple tables, and now we've got an entire area. We've gone up to about 50 trees this year. It used to be so much smaller when I was younger, so it's just really cool to see how much bigger it's gotten and how much more of the community is involved. We've got the charity forest, all of these different components from the community, and everyone's excited to be out here, which is lovely.
And I'm not sure if you remember, but was the Festival of Trees always held here at the Civic Center? I've only been here for a couple of years, so I'm not too sure about the history of the Festival of Trees, but has it always been in a big venue like this?
Yeah, it's always been here. We just make do with the space we have. So when we were smaller, we seemed to have a lot of wiggle room, but now we're getting a lot bigger and filling it a lot more. But yeah, from my knowledge, we've always been here.
And you mentioned to me earlier that you were a part of the committee, second year on committee. What does that involve?
Yeah, so committee is kind of the people behind the scenes that are organizing all of this in partnership with Spirit of the North. So a lot of those more long-term volunteers that are into behind the scenes work, that's what committee is. So we're here on the ground, but we're also working all year long to make this be here.
And what does the role of a volunteer, because I'm sure there are different roles that volunteers have. You have a different role than somebody else, for instance. Tell us a bit about, because there are it's like an army involved here with the Festival of Trees. So many people, so many different parts, working components. What's your role specifically?
Yeah, so I'm part of Children's Workshop, so if you have kiddos, you'll come see me, and it involves, helping kids with crafts, helping them figure out what they want to do, talking with parents, kind of troubleshooting, but in all honesty, I probably have the most fun job because I get to be with kids and glitter all day. Yeah.
And how do the kids like it? Because I can hear there's some kids on the main stage just behind us, but how do they enjoy it? They must sound like every year, they probably enjoy coming to the Festival of Trees. How do they enjoy it?
They love it. It's really cool to see it be a tradition for people. They come in and like, oh, I want to do a tree this year. I want to do another one. And as kids grow, their decoration skills get a little bit better. So they really do enjoy it quite a lot.
And with the trees, there are different organizations, so if somebody wants to, say, put up a tree one year, what's the process? How can they get involved with you guys to help set up a tree, for instance?
Get in touch with Spirit of the North. They're the big brains behind all of this. That's what we're fundraising for, is Spirit of the North's fundraising. So get in touch with Spirit, and they'll get you involved.
And for you personally, Adrian, what has been the most favorite part? You mentioned you love working with the children as part of the Children's Workshop, but aside from that, what's your favorite part of the Festival of Trees? Is it kind of like an official kickoff to Christmas? What's the one thing that has kind of stuck with you over the years since you've been involved with the Festival of Trees?
Kind of what you're saying. It's the kickoff to Christmas. It's probably one of my favorite things of the year. Every week of this time for Christmas is so lovely, and it's a perfect way to get into the spirit and everything. It just kind of keeps getting me coming back.
And one of the things that I noticed, that there's just so many people here already on Friday night. How rewarding is that for you? Again, as a volunteer, as somebody who's put a lot of hours, a lot of effort, a lot of time into this festival to make sure it's absolutely 100% perfect, and getting to see the enjoyment on everybody else's faces, from the oldest to the youngest. How rewarding is that to you as a volunteer?
It's amazing. It's so lovely to see my community come out. I'm born and raised Prince George, so it's great to see everybody come out and get into the spirit of Christmas and be part of the community. It's lovely.
Adrian, thank you so much for joining us here to talk a bit about your experience with the Festival of Trees. I know it's a very festive room here tonight. Lots of stuff going on. Thank you again for your work. Thanks. It looks amazing out here at the Festival of Trees. And be sure to come down to the Festival of Trees too to see all the hard work that Adrienne and her team have put together here at the Conference and Civic Center. It's really a sight to see. And like we mentioned earlier, it's different from last year and it was different from the one in 2000. So be sure to come on down to the Civic Center to check out all the amazing work that has been put in by community organizations and the Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundations.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit domino's.ca to join the club.
The Spruce Kings have made a coaching change earlier this week, letting go of their head coach Alex Even, who spent 8 seasons with the organization. On Monday, General Manager Mike Hawes appointed Brad Tessink as the team's interim head coach in his 3rd season with the Kings. The change came after they lost 5-2 this past weekend against the Spruce Grove Saints, with the club's record falling to 6-12-2-1 on the season. Tessink spent the past 2 seasons as the club's assistant coach after beginning his coaching career with the Sea Dogs organization back in his hometown of St. John's, Newfoundland.
We weren't performing as well as we had hoped. Our record isn't an indication of what kind of talent we have in that dressing room, so we thought a new voice was needed. It's unfortunate the way things happen. You never want to back into a position like this, but going into this week with a little bit different mindset and a different voice, hopefully we can find that little bit more chemistry and push forward and push for the run into the playoffs.
I definitely think it's a bit on our team. We haven't held up our end of the bargain, and we've lost a couple games that I think we should have won, but yeah, it's just tough to see someone go like that I've had here my whole career, but I have full faith in Brad that he can help us turn this around, and we're going to do it for him.
We all have to wear a little bit of it. It's not one person that put our team in this position. I think everybody knows that they need to be a little bit better. So this week, finding a way to dial in a little bit of details, guys have to buy in a little bit more to the way we're going to play moving forward, and that's going to be the recipe for success for us.
The TSX is up 83 points to close at 25,488. The Dow Jones is down 138 points to close at 44,722. And Artemis Gold went up 28 cents to close at $14.15.
Good evening again, everyone. We've got lots of snow to talk about right across the region. This low pressure system really packing a punch, and that is bringing us a lot of snow accumulating everywhere you go in and around our city, of course, and our region as well. So this is a look back at the day. Again, the clouds and the snow in the mix across many areas. A lot of rain through the north coast, and that's stretching down through the central and south coast as well. Better idea on the futurecast over the next 48 hours. The snow continuing into our Thursday. There's early tomorrow morning and intensifying through the afternoon again right into the evening hours. Friday, you can see it sort of fizzles out a little bit, so we may not see as organized of a system over us on Friday, but we'll still be left with a few flurries at least going into Friday and parts of our weekend. Highs tomorrow will be another cold one for us, -2 for the daytime high. We've got snow, as I mentioned, 5 to 10 centimeters, by the way, likely falling again tonight, and another 5 to 10 tomorrow. It's colder up in the Peace. That Arctic air really packing a punch there. -20 for a daytime high tomorrow, and lots of snow in the mix. We could have some snow down through the southern interior tomorrow, though at this point looks to be just mainly cloudy, possibly a few flurries in the mix there. East of Valemount as well, anticipating a cooler and snowier day. -13 Mackenzie, clouds and snow everywhere you go, stretching all the way over towards Burns Lake. -1. -1 in Quesnel, and snow anticipated again tonight and tomorrow right through your day. Across Canada, this is what it looks like tomorrow, and it is colder. West Coast not too bad, 7 degrees Vancouver, but colder in Edmonton, although you're getting the sunshine back in many areas across much of Alberta, down through Calgary as well. Some beautiful sunshine to enjoy for probably the rest of the week. -15 though in Edmonton, a cold day there for November. -19 in Regina, same thing. A break from the flurries or the snowfall that's been happening, but it will be very cold and clear clear tomorrow. -10 for a high in Winnipeg, and anticipating the clouds and the snow to return to Winnipeg. It was a drier day there today. Further east we go. There's lots of rain showers along the Maritimes. 4 degrees with a mixed precipitation kind of a day in Montreal. A little drier but cold down through Toronto. So periods of snow as we jump into our weekend still possible. At this point, maybe a little bit more in terms of flurries for us here in Prince George, but across the region, again, it is pretty wintry, and you'll see it here. Burns Lake, all that snow and snow rain mix really stretches right into early next week. You'll notice a difference in temperatures next week, though. We are going to see a bit of a milder trend. -10 tonight, 2 to 4 centimeters. Tomorrow, morning snow, especially -1 your high. Cold tonight in Mackenzie and lots of snow falling. -17 with another 5 to 10 centimeters tonight. Could be up to about 5 more again tomorrow, maybe even a touch higher than that. -13 the high for Thursday, Friday. That is cold. Saturday, another cold day, and then a bit of a reprieve from those colder temperatures as we get into early next week. McBride, snow accumulating tonight, tomorrow, and it looks to be right through Friday, Saturday as well. -2 the high for your Thursday. Quesnel, -5 tonight. A little bit of snow in the mix tonight. Tomorrow as well, even into Friday, and then there's the break for you going into the weekend. So this is the forecast for us, and it looks wet. Definitely wet. -8 tonight. Anticipating another 5 to 10 actually probably tonight and tomorrow, and then tapering off just a little bit for Friday. Periods of snow possible, though, for part of our weekend before it gets a bit milder next week.
All right, so our time here at the Festival of Trees is slowly wrapping up, but we wanted to remind you that there's still time to come on down to the Festival of Trees tonight and through the rest of the week and into the weekend. And also come on down to the Civic light up. Again, it started at 5:30, going till 8. Fireworks and the actual light up are going to be around 7:10, 7:15. So be sure to be here for that. And again, come on down to the Festival of Trees, support Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation, support healthcare in the North. Every little bit helps. So please come on down. It's a beautiful sight down here. You don't want to miss it. And like I said, every year is different. So if you come next year, it's going to be totally different. So be sure to come on down tonight to the Civic Games Plaza and to the other days throughout the week if you can. That's all the time we have tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, your last look is one of the trees you can see here at the Festival of Trees, decorated by second graders at Edgewood Elementary, is our Pattison tree. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.